Hello people, so last year I made a video about how even the tiniest decisions you make can ultimately change your life, and this is something that even today still is continuously blowing my mind. I'm so fascinated by this whole idea of just simple decision, a little split-second decision or going on a whim can literally change your entire life, and just how simple and easy that seems to be. So like, for example, imagine you're walking down the street, right, and you walk past this cafe that you have always walked past, you've never gone in, but this time you think to yourself, you know what, today I'm gonna go into this cafe just on a whim. And you walk in, you bump into someone, and you get talking to this person, and then you end up going on a date, starting a relationship, and then like 10 years down the line you're married with a kid. If you had never made that split-second decision to walk into that cafe that day, you may never have met that person, you may never have got married, and you may never have had children. You might have ended up being alone for the rest of your life, or you might have met someone else and it didn't work out, or whatever. It's little things like that that fascinate me and just make me think. And then there are other things like you're planning on going on holiday, and the night before you forget to set your alarm, you oversleep, meaning that you end up missing the plane you're supposed to be on, but that plane ends up crashing. And to think that if you were on that plane you could have died, and just the fact that you forgot to set your alarm had actually saved your life. And it makes me think, is it luck? Is it luck that that person decided to walk into that cafe and end up meeting their future husband? Is it luck that you forgot to set your alarm and the plane you were supposed to be on crashes? Is it luck, or is it fate? Destiny? Were you meant to walk into that cafe or miss that plane? Are there external forces somewhere acting on your behalf to make these things happen? Or is it just a coincidence? Whether or not you believe in things like fate or destiny, you can't deny that it is likely that these things are actually a thing. And that for me is both really exciting but also really terrifying to think about, because if things like fate or destiny are a thing, does that mean we're not in control of our own lives? Could it be that we are in a matrix kind of situation, or we are computer simulators and external forces are literally controlling our lives? Is there something like that going on? Because again, you can't prove that it isn't. You know, you can completely close your mind to these kinds of things and think, no, I'm in control of my life, things just happen, it's all coincidence, it's all luck. But even then, luck, is it luck, or could it be karma? Maybe you did a good deed earlier on in that week and karma decides to let you meet your future husband in a cafe or something. Or is it just a coincidence? Things like this happen constantly, all the time, every day. Could it be fate or destiny? Do we have our lives already set out in front of us? You know, for those of you who believe that the future is a thing, time travel into the future could be a thing one day, then what if the future actually exists and we are in somebody else's past, and so therefore to people in the future they already know how our lives are going to be, so therefore our lives are in a set way because the future is a thing. Does that make sense? For me personally, time travel is something that I refuse to even try to get my head around. Even going back in time, going into the future, whatever, I can't even fathom that as being a thing. And think about going back in time to change the past. That is a whole different mind-blowing scenario. This morning, I watched a video from Rob Dyke, which was like top 10 paradoxes or something, and one of them was about time travel. Well, two of them were about time travel, but one of them was about going back in time. And the paradox is that if you go back in time to kill your paternal grandfather, then that would mean that he no longer exists, your father no longer exists, and so therefore you no longer exist. But if you no longer exist, then you wouldn't have gone back in time to kill your grandfather. So are you alive or are you not? That is something I never thought about when it comes to going back in time to kill someone, like people say, or if I can go back in time I'd go and kill Hitler. or whatever. Like, you have no idea how disastrous the consequences would be if you did that. Like, it's just so mind-blowing to me, and I wasn't even planning on talking about that today. That was just like, it's in my head right now, fresh in my mind because I just watched the video. If fate and destiny is a thing, does that mean that the future is a thing? And if the future is a thing, are there people already going back in time and changing things? That is a theory when it comes to something like the Mandela effect. People think that people are coming back in time to change things that are changing logos and stuff, whatever. If that is a thing, then that means surely that we're not in control of our own lives, because no matter what we do, in theory, no matter what we do, we're always going to end up doing the thing that we were meant to do. But what if we are, and what if all these things are just coincidences? So what do you guys think about all of this? Do you think the decisions we make that end up changing our lives are all just coincidence? Is it fate / destiny? Is it luck? Is it good karma? Whatever. What do you think? What are your beliefs and thoughts on the matter? Do you think that fate and or destiny are a thing? Is it even the same thing? I don't know. Do you think it's a thing? Do you think that there's some extra force out there telling us what to do or making these decisions for us? And then you think, well, if it is true, they wouldn't let us talk about it, but then they would, because they made you think that. They made you think, well, it can't be true, because they're letting you think of it, and that's a whole bloody paradox in itself. Apologies if this video is just like one big confusing blob to you. I don't know, it's just some thoughts I wanted to get out, and I couldn't think of any other video idea for today. If you enjoyed this video despite how confusing it is, please give it a thumbs up, because that would be awesome. If you're new here, hello, welcome. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of my videos. I make videos twice a week on loads of different kinds of things. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.